Men, what are we doing? Why are we accepting such mediocrity for ourselves? Why are we, more to the point, walking around pretending like our life is all fine, it's all together, putting the armour on and the mask every day, not allowing ourselves to not have our shit together? I was sitting here trying to think of a video, right? I've got Beyond the Beers, Conversations and Cool Stuff for Men coming up here in the Gold Coast on August the 11th. And I was thinking, okay, I'm going to make a little video here. What's going to, entice the local men perhaps to come along and hear some great men speak below the surface and actually talk about stuff that matters. And I was just going, hold on, why is it so challenging to get men to open up? Do we think that if we open up, we all of a sudden become vulnerable to attack? Do we think that opening up means sharing our deepest, darkest secrets and fears? Do we think that simply sharing some of your current struggles and challenges with a good mate is that scary? What has happened to us men that we are so terrified to, one, have feelings, and two, talk about stuff that causes us to have feelings? I remember growing up, and as a result of my upbringing, which is not necessarily my family, but it's all part of the big picture and the messaging and conditioning that we receive from society, I remember how much shame and embarrassment there was to even, one, feel proud, but even talk about things like how I liked a girl and how much crap I would get from my friends. And of course, healthy banter. Being kept honest by friends is a pretty integral part of being a man, if you ask me. But then there's that point where it goes too far. Then there's that point where all of a sudden we can't even share, right? And I've spoken about this before. Loyalty is a great example of something that we have totally screwed up. I'm loyal to my mates. I'm loyal to my mates. We're told as men that loyalty is a badge of honor, that we must be loyal to our mates and to our family and to our jobs. And a lot of the time we don't understand what that even involves. Right? When we're loyal to our friends, what happens as a result is every man is standing there waiting to help his mate out. Of course, I'll do anything for my mate. And the problem is everyone's saying it and no one's doing. No one is asking for help. And so we have all these dudes just waiting. Well, everyone else has got their shit together, so I better not show that I don't. And I can tell you right now, fellas, none of us have our shit together. Let's call it a spectrum. Some perhaps more than others. I am leading this thing called Beyond the Beers. I am encouraging and inviting men to drop the mask and drop beneath the surface and talk about the stuff that matters. But I don't have my shit together. I have huge struggles and challenges that I face all the time. And one of them is this right here, right now. I have an event coming up soon. And it is immensely stressful and challenging for me. And if I can't talk about that, I am no good. I'm no good to myself, I'm no good to my partner, and I'm no good to the men that I'm going to be in service of and connecting with and supporting when they actually come along to the event. Now, and this is a great analogy I heard from a good friend and former speaker at Beyond the Beers, James Greenshield. We're all climbing our own mountain, right? It's just that I'm from where I am on mine, I can see different viewpoints. I can see where you are on yours. And so whilst I'm still climbing my mountain, I can point out handholds and places for you to go. And that's how this works when we're in it together. But when none of us act and go first and share and talk about shit that matters, when we're all so terrified of the judgments of others, of how the men around us and the people around us may judge us, we alone are holding ourselves back. And so I'm sat here again this morning going, how do we get through to men to start embracing having conversations about stuff that matters? Right? Because all of us that go down that route know how powerful it is. We know that we have it totally wrong. We think it's terrible and we're going to be opened up for all sorts of abuse. And what happens in actual fact is it is empowering, it is enlightening. You know, I feel like a weight has come off my shoulders. It's the kind of thing I hear all the time. The men that come to Beyond the Beers, the feeling at the end of it is, oh man, this just feels so good to be able to be real and drop the act and the facade and just talk man to man about stuff that's challenging without being judged, feeling safe. And that is the result. But it takes each and every one of us to step into it. So men, I want to leave you with this. What is it going to take you in your life, yes you, who thinks everything's sorted, who think, no, I'm different, I have to keep it together because X, Y, Z. Bullshit, brother. You don't. You get to ask for support. You get to bring people in. No one asked you to be Superman and you don't need to be. Sure, build strength and resilience, but not with a facade. What is it going to take for you to drop the mask, to drop the superhero act and actually become the hero of your own journey? To dive into the darkness instead of avoiding it and letting it be this black kind of cloud that just floats and follows you around, because we see it, brother, we see it. You're not fooling anyone, not anyone that can really see. Turn and face your shit, and you will soon realize that, what was I even worried about? What was I worried about? Oh my God, it's so easy to talk about stuff that seems challenging. The challenge comes from what we are building it up to be. If you let go of that and you let go of what other people may think about, right? They may think about you. Probably not. And even if they do, that's their shit. Leave that for them and face your own shit. Because that's what we must do, gentlemen. For your own sake and for the people that you care and love about, you have to turn and face your shit. And that starts by having simple, meaningful conversations, dealing with emotions that you're experiencing, and actually talking about this stuff to people that care about you, that have your back. That's what loyalty looks like. It starts with self, and then it permeates out into the people in your network, in your family, in your community. And that's what Beyond the Beers, Conversations and Cool Stuff is about. Bringing men in to take having a beer with mates to a whole new level and actually talking about the stuff that other people are avoiding. And they're avoiding it because they don't want to face it. They think it's some terrible monster, and it's not. It's easy. Because without things like this, how do we make change? How do we make a change in the horrific statistics in mental health and suicide for men? What is it going to take for us men to wake up and realize that we have to change? You as an individual, me as an individual, have to do the work. What's it going to take, brother? Because we're here waiting for you. But you've got to give yourself permission to step into it. Peace.
Hey dude, now, if you like this and you want to see more of it, then be sure to click like and subscribe. Beyond that, my invitation is to share this with another dude that you think will benefit from it, because this is so much better when we do it together, and we are in this together. Otherwise, remember to have some fucking integrity. And if you don't know how to do that, then stick around, watch my clips, read my posts, and ask me. That's what I'm here for.